through Herman, Nebraska. Population 310 souls strong. The last time they ordered a population road sign. Hey YouTube! Born to be Wild, NE here. And as always, NE stands for Nebraska. Go Big Red Huskers. It is Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022. I went tent camping last night and again tonight. Highs are in between 75 and 80. Lows are in the mid-50s. So, other than today, tonight, and tomorrow, some very strong winds. Gusts up to 45 and 50 miles per hour. Didn't go very far, just went up to Mahoney State Park, which is off the interstate between Lincoln and Omaha. Found a site where I could pitch my tent, and I believe it's going to be somewhat sheltered by a little hill with some pretty thick bushes up on top of it. So I guess when I get back tonight, we will see, won't we? I'm headed north on Highway 75. As I said, I just went through Herman. And I believe there's a next town right up here called Tenere. And the consolidated school is Tenere-Herman. Figure that one out, will you? You won't see it on the GoPro, but I can see on the horizon over there the eastern bank of the Missouri River Valley. That'd be Iowa. Got the wind behind me. I'm going 69 or so miles per hour, and I'm getting 57 miles per gallon. The wind is helping me. When I have to turn around and go back, it will hinder me. Cold front coming through. Tomorrow morning should still be nice temperatures, but very windy again. And tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon, could be some rain. I'm only 45 minutes from home, so I'm not too concerned about getting up in the morning and getting home before the rain starts late afternoon. Kind of fun to be out tent camping again, even if it's only for 2 nights, but as has been my custom the last couple 3 years, when I see unseasonably warm forecasts, I think, opportunity. Opportunity. Water tower on the horizon, I believe, is Tenere. Herman, with a population of 310, might not have too many school-age kids there. So they gotta probably make a little trek up here to Tenere. how many miles away the Missouri River is. Because I don't believe it's right up against the bluffs. It's a 3 miles on this side of the bluffs in this part of the state, if I remember correctly, which I can't count on anymore. If it's anything important, I need to double check. Election day is Tuesday, 6 days away. After that, I hope many of the political signs will be removed. Tacoma, 1,852 souls strong. I've got a Dollar General, one of the small ones, but a Dollar General nonetheless. Very good. 35 it is. Crack the visor a little bit, get some fresh air. Bike thermometer reads 78. In Lincoln, the forecasted high is about 78. Not quite breaking a record, which is in the low 80s for November 2nd. Had a decent night's sleep last night, but I don't recommend Mahoney State Park for tent campers who want to feel like they've gotten away from it all, because as I found out last night, it's too close to the interstate and you hear interstate traffic all night long whenever you are awake and conscious. Must have a decent trade area. This is a there's the school, Tacoma Herman Schools. Almost 2,000 people in Nebraska. That's a pretty good sized town. You know, they had quite a business district. So it looks like it must have a decent trade area. And it very well could be more aligned along this north-south highway and not go off in east or west directions too many blocks. Yeah, at least in this part of the town it looks like it. Okay. Football stadium, maybe? Wonder what type of football they play. We're only 54 miles from South Sioux City, Nebraska. I don't intend to go up that far, but Last Friday night, I went up to my hometown and watched a football game. I'd seen my alma mater play a home game since the late 1970s when I saw my youngest brother play one Friday night. They no longer play 11-man football, they play 8-man football. And this year they have one of the best 8-man football teams in their class. They were behind 6-0 at the end of the first quarter, and I thought, did I come up here and jinx them? They were behind 12-8 at one point in the second quarter. However, they ended up winning for 54-18. Nary an extra point kick was attempted by either side. 2-point conversions were attempted after every touchdown. And the opposing team, Ravenna, obviously didn't even make any of their 3 conversion attempts, thus the 18. My hometown is ranked 3rd or 2nd in the state in their class. They play tomorrow night, and if they win tomorrow night, they'll have one more win necessary to qualify for the state championship game, which people tell me would be played in Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. I don't know how that works because the 8-man field is only 80 yards long instead of 100, and it's not as wide either. So I'm not quite sure. Memorial Stadium has artificial turf, so I don't know if they would chalk up temporary lines and then scatter that chalk before. Well, I don't know if Nebraska's got a home game after those championship football games or not. Volleyball team was ranked number 1, and they got their clock cleaned up at Wisconsin this last week. Swept 3-0. So there's some scuttlebutt that the team was starting to think like they were good, really good. Wisconsin showed them otherwise. The Badgers have to come play at Nebraska later in the season, so we'll see. We have a really super volleyball coach, John Cook, and he knows how to motivate kids. He knows how to develop kids. I say kids, young women. So I'm sure that they've learned some hard lessons. I think they fell to number 4 in the country after that loss. They beat somebody over the weekend. Somebody in the Big Ten over the weekend swept them. That was at home. So they are a very good volleyball team. But there are a lot of pretty good volleyball teams. In the Big Ten, I think there's 6 teams ranked in the top 15 in the country. And then there are a number of other pretty good volleyball teams around the country. Final Four is in Omaha this year, and if they can make it, they will have a hometown advantage. People rooting for the Huskers in the Final Four. We shall see. They are tied, three-way tie right now for the lead in the Big Ten: Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Ohio State. Nebraska has to play at Ohio State yet this year, and hosts Wisconsin yet this year. Ohio State has a really good volleyball team also. So have you noticed? I'm sure you have if you've thought about it. I'm talking about volleyball and not football. Huh? I moved back to Lincoln the very tail end of 1990. We actually had to wait to move into the house because the moving van got stuck in really bad weather somewhere out east. So we didn't move into the house until 1991. So I was there in Lincoln 93 when we almost won the national championship. One field goal against Florida State at the end of the game went left, and if it had been good, we'd been national champions. Then we won it 2 years in a row, 94 and 95. Stubbed our toes a couple times in 96. We were highly ranked, but not number one. And then in 97 we won one half of national championship. Michigan was awarded the other half. The coaches, which I think is the one that gives the Sears Trophy, went for Nebraska.